Our cool cat, Carol Baskin, killed her husband. Hi, hello, welcome to my channel. I just finished my first week of university, aka syllabus week, and I read 4 books. Let's see how long I can keep this up. I don't think I can. The goal for this semester, for the rest of the 16 weeks that I have left, is to read around 3 books a week and to post 2 videos a week and then film a vlog, a reading vlog every week. Let's see if I can keep that up. I'm counting on you to keep me accountable. So we'll see how that works. Let's just go in the order that I read these, and that would be Party of 2. Between this video, you're gonna see me go in and out of vlogging Tiana and this Tiana right here. And let's start with this book. Oh my goodness. At my big age, this is my first interracial romance novel written by a Black author. Let that sink in for a second. I know, I'm disappointed in myself too. But this book, we follow our main character, Olivia Munro, and Max Powell, goodness gracious. And Olivia Munro is a lawyer who has moved from the East Coast to the West Coast. As an East Coast gal myself, I don't know why she would ever do that, but I guess since her home is California, it was time to go back home. Max Powell is the California senator, and he moves from DC to California every other week. Olivia is a dead-ass Capricorn. It is so uncanny how she and I are alike, because she always has calculated moves, and she never moves that deliberately unless for an ulterior motive, which is her career and herself, and that's really it. And she will literally bend over backwards for her career than before herself, and I respect it because I'm a Capricorn myself. Max Powell, on the other hand, he likes to go with the flow, but he'll also be baited into going with the flow, and he'll do things without really thinking of the consequences. He's act now, think later the consequences that affect him and his team, because he is a senator, and what he does affects the livelihood and the actions of his team. They like eating cake, they like eating pie, they like to go, and hiking I think is a California thing. We don't do that here where I live. It's just not a thing. We go on walks, we don't go hiking. But that hiking scene was cute or whatever. It wasn't about them being black and white. It was her being ice cold and him being a fiery hothead, and them complimenting each other in the long run, finding a way to work out their differences to be a couple. And it was really cute and I liked it. There's no smut in this book, I'm sorry. Jasmine Guillory just gave me a romance novel that I didn't know I needed. You know when you read a book at the right time in your life and you're just like, wow, this book spoke to me and I'm glad it did. And it was cute. I really can't talk about anything because I don't want to spoil anything for you. This is a very non-spoilery video. But yeah, go pick this up, go read it, appreciate it, value it. The next book I read this week, because I was just on a roll, again I read 4 books, was The Bride Test by Helen Fong. And I think we need to realize that just because an author is a minority does not mean that their work is always gold. And yes, it was a good book, but it wasn't good for me in my standards of what I like in romance novels. There was a lot of hype surrounding around this book, probably because of the kiss quotient, and I think it also came on the rise thanks to Crazy Rich Asians, which is right there on my shelf, because we were looking for more Asian authors. I don't have any Asian authors on my shelf, and I'm trying to eradicate that, and I want to include more diverse authors. This is my attempt at doing that, and I'm glad I did. I'm glad I got to see what my baseline is and what the improvement from there will be. Pimping isn't cute. And again, I don't know much about Vietnam culture or Vietnamese culture, so maybe it's a thing. They do mention our main character, or our male main character's brother, who is Quan. Quan's like, Mom, we don't just do that in America. Maybe in Vietnam, but here we don't buy our sons their wives. We don't do that. And we have our main character, I want to say Mai, and she changes her name to Esme. And Esme, or Esmeralda, she goes by Esme. What I didn't like about Esme is that, yeah, she goes to America to hopefully fall in love with Kai. And let me start over. We go we first meet our character Esmeralda, and Esmeralda has a daughter. When Kai's mom comes to visit Vietnam to find him a wife, Esmeralda's like, okay, but my daughter. And then she's like, okay, this would be a good opportunity for my daughter because I love her so much. So in the beginning, she only falls in love with Kai because she realizes the opportunity Kai can give her. And at the end, yes, she's like, okay, I can do it on my own. I don't need my dad. I don't need Kai. I can do it on my own because she goes to school. She learns English. She wants to be an accountant. But again, she only wants to be an accountant because Kai likes accounting. So therefore, she likes accounting. And then we only mention her daughter by name maybe a handful of times. It didn't feel very... Our character was very non-motivated for the reason that she started it out with, and I was just not a fan of that. And also the proprietor, like, male, like, you're mine. I'm like, no, my own person. That's what I didn't like about this book. Overall, the moments that we had between Esmeralda and Kai, I appreciated. They were cute, they were lovely, I laughed, I giggled, and I was like, aw. But the overall story of this book, I just wasn't a fan of. So I gave it 2 stars on Goodreads. My Goodreads is linked down below. So on to my next book. Okay, we all know I've been reading Keeper of the Lost Cities, and I'm on book 4 now. And the spine, I don't know if you can see the spine. I jacked this spine up, oh my goodness. I feel like in the beginning of this book, it was a very different book from what the ending was. Okay, it is now about 8 o'clock in the evening, and I've gotten to page 286 into Neverseen, and it has picked up astronomically. Oh my goodness, like, this series is fast-paced. It's middle grade, so you're going to get a fast-paced series and plot with this. The first 2 books, I have book talks. I'll link them in the cards here. They were very establishment heavy with, like, establishing our world. With book 3 and book 4, we know what's happening. We know who our characters are. We're just going straight in, feet first or head first, and calling it a day. So with this book, we're finally doing the things that we need to do and that we discussed in previous books. Like in book 2, when we established Prentice and established that Sophie can heal minds, I'm thinking, oh, okay, in book 3 we're going to heal Prentice's mind. No, we're doing that in book 4, which I appreciate. And I kind of spoiled myself in the beginning of reading this book when I read the ending of this book when I shouldn't have. It was an accident because I'm stupid. We know that he eventually wakes up, and hopefully we get to explore that in book 5. And I see you, number 5. Number 5 from Umbrella Cat is my favorite character. So hopefully, and it's my favorite number actually. So hopefully, book 5 will do me right. The beginning of this book, Sophie and the 5 group of friends, we have been banished. The gay gang has joined the Black Swan. They're going to try and get Prentice. They're going to try and do the things that need to be done that we've been saying since book 4 that's behind that book that you can't see. And the beginning, it was very fast paced. We had this plan to get Prentice out because we've been saying for so long, hey, Prentice, we need to get him out. And then it just very tonally shifted, and I appreciated it. And I'll go more into detail in a book talk soon. If I finish it within this week, I will click it up here. But right now, that video is not filmed. I'm filming that today as we speak. But there's nothing much to say about this book, as in I'm going to do a full-on discussion about this book, and we can further discuss. And if you haven't picked it up already, go pick it up. The last book I read this week, I did it via audiobook because the font in this book is so small, and I don't know if you can tell, I wear glasses, and also I'm on my computer and my phone all day because online classes. I'm staying home for this semester. I am trying to combat screen fatigue and also tiring my eyes out. So I was just like, in the morning, we're gonna do an audiobook. I have an Audible account and I get like a free credit every month, and that's what I did. I love the narrator so much. So I would wake up at 5 a.m. every morning during this week, or last week. Yeah, last week, because it is Sunday. Go on my 4-mile walk and I play the audiobook. And I'm actually surprised I got 24 hours worth of reading done in a week, because I didn't think I would be able to like go in and out. I thought I would do it while I'm sleeping, do it while I'm in between classes, but no, I made it a point to like get up at 5 a.m., walk for 2.5 hours. In between my shower, I would have the audiobook on, in between class, so I'm doing work and I made it a point to get my reading done this week, and I hope I can keep it up throughout the entire week. But let's talk about A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness, my bad. Okay, again with Keep It Lost Cities book 4, like Discovery of Witches, the beginning of this book and the middle and the end of this book felt like two very different books. This book was about 24 hours on my audiobook, and this book is 500 and some pages, but the font is small. That's why this book is so long. I feel like it could have been condensed down drastically, and yes, we do have to ground those characters for the most part, but again, the pacing was so slow that I'm glad I was able to like wake up in the morning and just get to know my characters every morning and just wake the good old bones up with this audiobook. However, nothing really picked up until that much of the book, and I had to go through all this before the book was even over. We have our main character, Diana. She is a witch, and she has rejected her lineage of being a witch. She's very much like, hey, I'm not with the shits. I want to go into my best life and call it a day and explore other opportunities. And as she explores other opportunities, her magic always finds a way to slip out. So then she has to change her whole career path. And we had this moment of like 4 pages of us discussing why she chose her PhD in alchemy, goodness gracious. And we could have condensed a lot of plot and background to ground our characters. And it works well in the sense that we could have ended it halfway through, got another book, and then just do 2 books. But then I also see the point of like, okay, we just all put it in 1 book right here and call it a day. When Sasha Alsberg from BOOKTUBERS, I'll link her down below, she recommended this book a while ago, and she had said this book helped her get back into school because she had gone through some personal stuff. And I was like, okay, I'm in a global pandemic. School's gonna be hard right now. Maybe I can fall in love with this character or these characters that have the setup of school and university, and I can get back into love with schooling and stuff like that. But it's not what I expected. Like, she loves talking about dead people, and she loves having those artifacts there, which I love to do as well, but it wasn't her main focus. Her main focus was learning her power and also exploring Matthew, which that's fine. I had a precedent of what this book was about, and it's not what I thought it was, and here we are. It's more like Twilight with witches, and that's what this was, and I had no problem with it. I was here for a fun romance. I thought it'd be high intensity action-packed, but this was like a slow burn romance, and when I say slow burn, I mean slow burn, but that was fine. I have book 2 as an audiobook because I got a free audiobook credit, and I'm happy, thanks Amazon. But yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna do a book discussion right after this video and further discuss my likes and dislikes. And I was looking on Goodreads like what this book had. I think I had like a 4.05 star rating on there, and as a whole, I give this book a 3.5. But if I am judging it when it could have been condensed down, like all we really needed was the half of the book. Beginning, I would give like a 1 star. The ending of the book, I would give a 4 star because it picks up and we're discussing so many moving pieces that makes sense because we contextualize in the ending. In the beginning, we did not contextualize not 1 iota. So that's my only problem with A Discovery of Witches. But overall, I had a very successful reading week. 4 books, wow. I'm trying to film reading vlogs. I'm gonna see if I can film reading vlogs. I don't know how. I've been looking for inspiration, and we shall see what type of style I develop later. And I plan to read Crazy Rich Asians, book 5 of Keep It Lost Cities, and also The Lies of Locke Lamora by Scott Lynch. It's right there, actually. It was lovely chatting with you. I am running out of daylight, so I'm gonna go film my Discovery of Witches and Keep It Lost Cities book talk right now. So I will catch you guys in the next video. I hope you have a good second week back at university. I am not drowning yet. If you want to see a video of how I manage reading during university while being at home, let me know. I feel like that could be like a fun segment I could do because it's very straightforward, in my opinion.